Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 53 of The Geek Perspective. I am your host, Roy, and along with my co-hosts, Derek and Tom, today we're discussing episode 1 of The Walking Dead classic episode, an unboxing by Senior Derek, and we might do a little talk about the world beyond. So stay tuned for some great Walking Dead content. So what is going on, kids?
What's up, Roy? How you doing?
You guys doing your social distancing and washing your hands?
Oh, of course.
Where's your masks? You're not wearing your masks.
Oh, I keep some in my car. Like I use face coverings, not just straight masks and stuff. But I got some in the car just in case I forget. I got some by my door that I can grab when I leave the house. I got my mask, that's for sure.
Derek thinks his beard is his mask.
I got a nice Bruins one.
Hey, that's nice. That's pretty cool.
Harry Potter one.
Oh, Jesus. You Potter. I have a nursing one.
I don't get to pick what's made for me.
Oh, they get made for you. So, Derek, how you doing? Did you work today?
No. It's my weekend off.
Yes, Hunter. Those episodes were pretty awesome. I read one of them.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. They always help.
I read all 3 of the articles.
God damn, you're fast.
Yeah, I read really fast. I do. I read. The articles were great.
They really were.
Hunter, how you doing, buddy? We will definitely discuss as we get into the episode. Because that's some good stuff.
I bet you Derek didn't read the articles.
I read more of the articles than you did.
Wow. Hello, Linda. Yeah, Linda worked today. Linda was working.
Linda, how you doing?
Linda has arrived. Her birthday's next week, kids.
Oh, yeah.
We all know how old you're going to be, Linda.
Wait, what is she turning 21?
Oh, God.
You're
Linda, stop blushing.
You're allowed to drink now, Linda? I'll take you out for a beer, you and Joe.
Oh, Jesus.
Out for a beer.
All the bars are closed, unfortunately.
After this corona, we're going over their house for a beer. All right, so let's jump into all this good stuff. But before we do, I want everyone who's listening to the show later, like and subscribe to our channel. Click that little bell because even when you like and subscribe, you don't always get notified. So click the bell to help you get notified when we release new content. And make sure to comment on this video. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. And comment and say happy birthday to Hunter because his birthday is next Tuesday.
I was just about to say that. Everybody, please give a shout out to Hunter. His birthday is a week from Tuesday. Sweet. Happy birthday, buddy.
Happy early birthday.
Yeah.
Yes, happy birthday, most definitely. So, Derek has a review for us today. Not a review, an unboxing.
Yeah, I got a box.
You got a box?
I got a box.
I got several boxes this week.
You got several boxes. Ooh. I think I'll just open it.
Thank you, Hunter.
Any guesses on what it is?
It's
a pop.
It's an expensive pop.
Oh, yeah, we got a grail.
He'll buy like 4 more grails before this corona COVID virus is over.
We got some packaging peanuts.
Nice.
Gotta love peanuts.
Oh boy. What do we get? Unmasked. How do you say it?
Ochako.
Ochako?
Yep, then this one's the masked version.
Okay, I want to see how
much.
I'm
gonna go. What's that, Tom? You're gonna go full screen.
G there, Pop's price guide. See how much it's worth.
We want full screen, Derek. Hold on 1 second, bud.
Yep.
There you go.
That's awesome. So it comes in a case, but I was gonna say because I know it's a pretty expensive one. Okacho. Hang on. Stupid
2017 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive.
You know, I know you want all grails, but Walmart seems to be, I mean, in my area, seems to have a lot of My Hero Academia pops lately.
They're pretty popular.
Oh, is that why?
God damn it! This
God damn it!
on fucking Pop's price guide is just won't let me type in the stupid character's name.
OCH.
There we go. No.
OCD. What?
HACHO.
It's OCHACO.
ACO.
Remember Ocho Cinco? Chad Johnson, football player.
Okay.
You wish it was.
So I got a mat now because that's a girl.
Yep.
There's a masked one, but it doesn't have the same sticker. It's at 230.
Yeah.
Is it exclusive to San Diego Comic-Con, number 253 on the pop?
Yep.
Okay, it's at $230, Derek. So you need to get those protectors that me and Roy got that time. The
Yes.
pop one, dude. For something like that, I just hate to see it. You know what I mean? Get destroyed.
The hard case.
These are badass, dude.
Well, I got it came with a case. I don't think it's like quite the hard case.
Yeah. See, if I have any that are over $100, I put it in something hard because I could throw this at the wall and it's not going to get destroyed. You know what I mean? That's my.
Go ahead, do it, Tom. Throw it against the wall.
No.
Live demonstration.
That would be my suggestion, man, just for that, because that's a big investment right there. And I mean, for the $11 that it costs for each one of these,
it's worth it.
It's worth. You'll
Definitely
save
worth it.
investment, dude.
Question: I do not have a Pennywise pop.
You don't have one?
Nope.
Oh, I have one right
I
over
bought
here.
the black and white one, but I bought it for somebody at work.
Right. I remember you did it. I didn't remember if you bought one for yourself or not.
No.
So that one this one is actually Captain Spaulding.
Yeah.
But
I'm
yeah,
jealous.
This is well, Derek got for somebody else, but Roy's got this one. The Rhode Island Comic-Con.
Tom made me do it.
Yeah.
Hold on, Derek. Tom, I'll bring you full screen.
I'm
moving slow today.
So yeah, this is the only one I think I have left. I sold all because they made so many of Pennywise Hunter. It's just like God. There's
they
like,
had it there last year too at the convention, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
you
I think
so. You could walk into Toy Vault and buy them for like $25, $30. Because Toy Vault was technically the shared retailer that you know what I mean. They produced them. You can still get them, but they made so many. I for a while I was trying to get all the Pennywise. Actually, one of our followers on Instagram has every single Pennywise, and it's like 50 or 60 now.
That's crazy.
Just Pennywise. Yeah, there's just like too many. So I stopped. I kept this one just because me and Roy running around the cons doing it. I had a good time tracking those down that year. So that's my only one. But that's an awesome pop, Derek. That's freaking awesome.
So what's your next pop going to be?
What is it?
What's your next grill going to be?
I don't want to think about the next one.
Why not? Come on, big spender.
I'd rather accidentally buy it for like $15-$20 and then be like, oh shit.
Well, we're going to have that song, Hey Big Spender, every time Derek comes into our room now. Hey Big Spender. Derek's theme song.
Well, like I said, like I was telling you at work, like there's probably going to be no conventions really this year, so I might as well just put all the money I was going to put towards Pops and buy the one I wanted.
Yeah, I mean, might as well.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't think there's going to be any cons this year.
If they're smart, they'll just cancel them all.
Yeah, I really do. I really think they should just gear up for 2021. Think about what they're going to do to adapt to the adapting, times that we're living in and stuff. That would be my suggestion to them because it's,
Michael Rooker's an awesome dude too.
Oh,
I got to hang out with him. That's pretty awesome.
Nice.
He's a real nice guy.
Nice. Yeah, Michael Rooker's a cool guy. Yeah, that's really cool. There's a cool Merle as a zombie Merle Funko that's kind of hard to get. That's worth quite a bit of money. It's pretty cool. They had a zombie Merle and a zombie Sasha. I used to have the zombie Sasha one, but the zombie Merle I never had. It was kind of hard to get and kind of expensive.
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, even the Sasha one's not cheap.
Yeah,
I've seen the Sasha one recently, and I can't remember what the price was, but I was like, yeah, I'm not paying that.
Yeah, well, I lucked out. I got it before it, like, when it first came out, so I got it right around retail.
I know, Tom. I hate you so much. You have a lot of the Walking Dead zombie. I hate you so much.
Yeah.
He got a lot of the cool ones.
Yeah.
Do you have the dude that's in the what was it? The fat dude that breaks apart?
Yeah, the Well Walker. That's the
Well Walker. That's it.
The main one that I'm keeping out of all. You know what I mean? That
looks pretty cool. I see that every so often. I'm like, I'm not paying that. Cool. I'm not paying that. I'm not Derek. I'm not paying that.
Yeah, I got that one cheap too. I get all my pops cheap because I am cheap. So.
Same here. I mean, the most I've paid for a pop was, I think, my Friday the 13th Part 2 Jason Sackhead Jason, I think I paid $29, $30. And that was about the same price as my Shining Jack Torrance pop, the frozen Jack Torrance. They're about the same price.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about buying the Pinhead glow in the dark.
Yeah.
About that price. So it seems to be like that seems to be my plateau. Like I'll spend $30 for something I really like.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen the Friday the 13th Part 5 Jason for like $40, $50. I won't pay that. And I love Jason.
Which one is the Part 5 one?
The one who's it's not Jason, it's actually the ambulance driver. He's wearing a blue overalls.
He's wearing the blue overalls.
He has the white mask with the blue markings on it.
Okay, yeah. Because there's a lot I'd love to get the unmasked Jason one, honestly, but I'm not going to pay.
It's $300, isn't it? Like something like that, something ridiculous.
Yeah, like 400, 500. Yeah. I'm not.
I think Derek, you should buy it for me, Derek.
Well, now that I went to go pay my student loans yesterday, it turns out like everyone that has student loans, or at least a good chunk of people, like I don't have to pay student loans for 6 months.
That's good.
But I'm still going to pay.
I thought it was
frozen.
Doing interest for 6 months.
The interest is frozen, but it still says I don't have to pay anything until November. But I'm still paying.
I gotta look into mine because I've been in the process because I pay every month and everything, and
that's the funny thing too. If they say if the interest is frozen, but you still don't have to pay, I would pay it because you'll get ahead of the game if you keep paying.
Oh yeah, that's what
I'm
I'm doing.
No interest.
Yeah. I mean, I just wish they would freaking wipe them. Just wipe them at this point. I know the Republicans don't want to because they feel as though education should be for profit for some reason. I mean, the only reason why you have Betsy DeVos as the head of fucking education in this country, the lady's never stepped foot in a public school in her entire life and thinks that education should be for profit. I mean, it's disgusting. Screw them.
Well, Mitch McConnell wants everyone to go bankrupt.
Yeah, well, dude, I get so frustrated with these people, because it all just comes down to like all the stimulus and all this stuff to help us. It has to pass through all of these House stuff because they all got to get their buddies their little freaking deals and make sure that corporations get bailouts before mom and pops, before you and I. A corporation why does $1 billion corporation need a bailout? They have $1 billion
because they want to keep that $1 billion.
Exactly. It's disgusting. It's just like the people at Ruth Chris who got $100 million from that stimulus. And you know what they did? They gave all their executives their bonuses for the year. But Shake Shack gave all their money back. They gave all that. And
Harvard is also.
And I don't think they did it because they were super altruistic. They just knew that they would look like a piece of shit that they were getting it before the freaking small businesses. That's
Mm-hmm.
all. That's the only reason. But still, good on them. They gave the money back because all these other companies are taking it and still laying off people and still or just firing them outright. And we got 15 million people unemployed in a matter of fucking 14 days. But the Republicans got to get there. They got to make sure their buddies get their little cuts and their little favors in these fucking bill. Oh, sorry guys. Sorry.
I'm enjoying it. I love Tom's rant.
It's.
I was gonna flash on the screen. Rant.
We should do like a graphic of like Trump's face or whatever.
Oh God. Oh God.
Linda said, "You go, Tom." Hunter has a trivia fact.
All right. Thomas Jane was considered for the role of Rick Grimes before Andrew Lincoln. Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Who's Thomas Jane?
He wasn't he in Punisher? The first Punisher, Thomas Jane.
Oh, okay. I know you're talking about now.
I believe that was Thomas Jane, right? If I'm right, Hunter. I didn't know that Norman auditioned for Merle.
That I did know. I heard him say it in an interview.
I guess it makes sense. They're brothers, you know what I mean? So, but I'm gonna look up this Thomas Jane.
He was the Punisher in 2004.
Yeah, okay. I thought so. He was the Punisher.
I like him. I could have seen him playing him actually.
Yeah.
Of course, Andrew Lincoln fans will probably be freaking out, but
yeah, but honestly, like Andrew Lincoln, I mean, the guy's British. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like that was at first. I remember when they're like, "Oh yeah, this guy's got." I was like, "Who?" And then I watch and I'm like, "Wait a minute, he's British." On top of that, but I mean, he did great. He did a great job. So that's very cool.
Right, let's get into this Walking Dead episode because, like Tom said in the pre-show, well, not pre-show, but off the air. This is one of the most iconic episodes, and I have a horrible memory. So as I was going through it, I was like, "Oh yeah, like so many cool things happened in this episode." But I cannot believe that the show started in October 31st, 2010. October 31st, 2010.
And it was almost an hour episode, right? Or an hour and a half?
Yeah, it was extra long episode.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
The premiere, 2010, 10 years ago. Well, I've been thinking about that a lot lately just because of I started watching Supernatural, like I told you, and then you see like Negan and Maggie and I'm like, wow, this would have been even before the start of The Walking Dead by a few years. And it was, seeing those people on there. So
yeah,
it's pretty, because that's 15 years. So crazy. Time flies.
And how about the beginning? When I forgot about the scene where he's looking for gas. And he sees the little girl. And then you realize she's a zombie.
So good.
I remember sitting there and I'm watching the episode originally, and I'm like, "It can't be a zombie. It's a little girl." Because you don't do that in this country. I've seen movies in Japan, or in Japan, but Japanese movies, horror movies, where they would do that, and they would have the girl's head half off. Like they'll destroy kids. They don't care.
Yeah.
But you don't see that in American cinema at all.
No, there's television, especially television. Because like you barely see it in cinema. When you can slap an R rating on it, but to see it on cable television.
And then he shoots her in the head. You're like, holy shit!
Someone read his comic books and knows what to do with zombies.
This episode,
holy Jesus,
so good. It's so good. The whole, I still to this day say that season 1 was the best. I know I'm not like the only person that says that either. And I know it's not an original thought, but think about all the seasons. There've been a lot of good seasons, and I still say season 1 is by far the best season.
I don't know what season I would pick. I don't know if I would pick what season, because I can't remember half the episods until I watch them. So I don't know what season I would pick.
I know that seasons 2 and 4 are my least favorite, and I think that season 2 was the worst. I don't, they kind of had that. Just for me, I felt like they kind of fell into a sophomore slump, kind of trying to feel out how the show was going to be in that season 2. And then season 3 was fantastic. Yeah.
Hunter said Matthew Lillard tried out for the part of Negan and almost landed the part.
That would that's
Been interesting.
Yeah, I don't think that would have worked. It's funny because I watch a show with my girlfriend called Good Girls. It comes on. It's on NBC. And he's in that, and he's fine in that. But I could not picture him especially because, what's his name? So good as Negan, man. I couldn't. Yeah. What the hell? Why can't I think of Negan's name?
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Thank you. God, I'm getting old, man.
You're an old man, Tom. You're an old man.
Jeez, I couldn't think of that. For
Welcome to the old people age. Linda would know all about that, huh, Linda?
She's only 21. What do you mean?
Yeah, 21 years ago, maybe. What do you guys think of the backstory between Shane and Rick? Like, how do you like how that played out in the first episode?
I liked it. Right from the get-go, I did not like Shane at all. Like I was just chomping at the bit for that motherfucker to die.
He had a chip on his shoulder, like right away.
Yeah,
big chip.
He had a chip on his shoulder, and thank you, Hunter. 68 minutes without excluding the commercials for the first episode. That's pretty good. Yeah, he was messing around with his buddy's wife. For me, he was just unlikable right from the jump, man. I don't know about you guys, but right away, I did not like Shane.
If you take away that part where like he was hooking up with Lori, well, how would you feel about the character? Like if they took that part out.
Say it again.
If they took out the part of Shane's character where he's fooling around with Lori, would you like his character instead, or is it just because you don't like him because he fooled around with his friend's wife?
Well, I don't know, because like Roy said, he had such a chip on his shoulder. So maybe if he wasn't messing around with the wife, maybe he wouldn't have the chip on his shoulder. You know what I mean? Because the guy's coming back, and now it's like, that's his friend, and he's been, messing around with the wife. So it might completely change that character's, emotional and, trajectory. So I can't really say 100%. I mean, that is a big thing. I don't like the fact that he was messing around with his woman, but, I think it would depend how he played it, because like Roy said, he has a chip on his shoulder right from the get-go. Kind of comes across as an ass. So.
Yeah, I personally, I mean, as far as the backstory goes, I liked it basically, but I think for me it went on too long. I mean, I understand you need it for the backstory because it pretty much set up the whole season or the whole series, really, if you think about it. But so I could have done with a little bit less.
This is actually a really, really good question / statement from Hunter about it. Speaking of Shane, do the three of you think that Lori is responsible for playing Rick and Shane against each other, or do you think Shane is responsible for lying to Lori about Rick being dead?
It's easy. It's easy answer. It's always the woman's fault.
Oh, jeez, Roy. That's
always blame the woman.
That's a great question.
No, it's not. It's always the woman, Hunter. Blame the woman.
Because did Lori verbally actually play them against each other?
I don't think so. I think what happened was her husband was dead.
Yeah.
She's in the apocalypse, first of all.
Yeah.
So I couldn't blame someone for picking somebody strong, whether she had feelings for him or not, to help protect her. Do I think she really needed it? I don't think she really needed it, because I think she's stronger than people give her credit for. But I can't blame somebody for wanting somebody strong to protect her. Yeah. And her son too.
Well, and I don't remember her actually trying to pit one against the other. It seemed like she was trying to avoid, every shit from exploding. You know what I mean? Whereas, probably, and like you said, like a good point, Hunter, that, he lied and said that Rick's dead. So course she's going to believe that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Why wouldn't she believe Rick's best friend? You know? So, and and even Linda's saying, you know, she thought Rick was dead. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
'cause I think,
I guess that if I put blame on one or the other, I guess it would lean more toward. That's a tough one. That's a really good question. I would say,
I blame Shane. I mean,
yeah,
I guess you could say no one's to blame, really, if you really think about it. I mean, he lied about his best friend supposedly being dead, but you know, it was the apocalypse. I think people do crazy things in the apocalypse that they might not do in real life. Do we think Shane would have done that in real life if there was no apocalypse?
no,
I think Laurie probably would have said no if it wasn't for the apocalypse.
Right.
yeah.
And for that reason, I couldn't blame her for going with Shane because this shit's hitting the fan.
She would have definitely said no because she would have known that Rick wasn't dead if it wasn't the apocalypse. She would have been visiting him in the hospital. So yes, I don't think and if it did play out, then we'd be having a completely different discussion because then Laurie would be her character would be different. You know what I mean? If she knew Rick was still alive and still went with Shane, you know,
well, speaking of hospitals,
yes,
one of my favorite scenes in this episode was when he wakes up and he's wandering the hospital and like there's nobody around. I work in the medical field, I work in nursing, and there were times when I'd work 11 to 7 to help out. And I can remember having to go to the basement or to go to a different unit. We turn the lights down. It is freaking creepy in these places when the lights are down. It is creepy. So I'm watching this like, oh man. And then he comes across the most famous double doors, the lock with the chains. You know what I'm talking about? With the sign, the dead inside.
Yeah.
One of the most iconic, I think, moments in this whole series. I think anyway.
Definitely.
That was so badass.
Definitely.
What do you think, Derek?
Still,
You awake there, kid? Wake up, Derek.
No,
We're doing a show here.
Well, you're talking about all the good parts already. But yeah, like he's waking up and he's finding out he's pretty much in the apocalypse. He's trying to piece stuff together. Like the last thing he thought he probably was gonna have to do would be like you said it like maybe a few minutes ago, like shooting the girl at the gas station. I'm pretty sure he wasn't expecting to do that.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, holy Jesus.
Yeah, well, think about that. Coming out of a freaking coma,
and
that's what you wake up to. It's just
He's
like,
just trying to
and
figure
then
out what day.
realize in their world too, zombie movies don't exist.
Right.
In that world. George Romero does not exist in that world. They've never, that's why they call them walkers. You know what I mean? Because in that world, zombies, there's no zombie books, comic books, movies, or anything in that world. They're completely new. So God, you wake up and you're just like, what? There's dead people coming at me? You know what I mean? Like us now, we always joke, oh yeah, I'll be ready for the zombie apocalypse. I'd be ready for the zombie because we watched movies on zombies for 30, 40 years, but.
And who knows how they'd even be?
Yeah.
Maybe they run 40 miles an hour. Then we're fucked. I'm not prepared for that.
Somebody posted that on Instagram. It was just like, with the apocalypse happening right now, I really hope they're the Walking Dead zombies and not the 28 days later zombies.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because you can't run that fast.
Those bastards were flying around me. Holy Jesus. I'm glad I'm not part of that.
Or the World War Z zombies. They're fast, too.
Yep.
In the movie. Not in the book, though. The book was much better than the movie in World War Z.
All right, I have a question for you guys and anybody who's listening to the show. On the first episode, what was your favorite moment? I have mine. I want to know what you guys' favorite moment is of the first episode, if you can think of one. And while you guys think about it, I'll talk about mine. My favorite moment, and it is my favorite moment, but it's also the moment I knew I was going to love this show, along with what just happened, what we just talked about. But when he goes outside and sees all the dead bodies, just piles of bodies, body bags. I mean, it must have been thousands of bodies. That's when I knew like I was going to love this show because, again, that's not something you'd see on a TV show. They wouldn't show that something gruesome like that on TV. So that was like, oh, I'm gonna like this show. I'm really gonna like this show, which obviously proved me correct.
I would say probably the little girl was probably the most memorable for me. You know, because I was expecting a lot out of the show, because I was a big fan of the comic book and a huge zombie fan. I think once I saw her and how they dealt with that, I was like, yeah, this show is going to be all right. This show is going to be more than all right. It's going to be really awesome. I would say that from it. Yeah.
For me, it's just like him like waking up from his coma.
That was tough. That's what I was thinking first. Was just when he wakes up. I just loved that too. So
you're just trying to get a feel for like, you know, where he is, what day is it. Now he's just wandering the hospital. Now he's like, oh shit, I'm in a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
And he still can't grasp it right off the bat either.
How about that the legless zombie on the grass when he was walking by her?
Mm-hmm. So Linda thought the little girl. Sweet. No, that's why I was just putting that up there. I was saying Linda thought it was the little girl as well.
What do you guys think of Morgan and his son when they first showed him? Did you guys trust them right away?
I did, actually. I did. Like, because think about Morgan's character's trajectory throughout the series, and then into. Well, I know you guys don't really watch Fear the Walking Dead, but it's I mean, out of any character, his sort of journey has been one of the craziest. Man, it's awesome. But I really like Morgan right away at first.
Well, because that's back when he was sane still.
Yes, he hadn't lost it. He wasn't, doing the whole clear. I need to clear this area, you know, and just the, you know, lost his mind. This was before that. So
it's like a gentler Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he and then they have the scene with him when he's up in his house and he's shooting the zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for his wife, who's you find out later is a zombie,
and
he wants to put her out of her misery, and he just can't do it.
Yep.
That was a big moment. Did you cry, Derek, when that happened?
No.
Why not? Wasn't very emotional to you?
No. We didn't get to really have a character development there, like a character. He was like, "Oh, she's a zombie." You feel bad for him, but like it's not like, "Oh no, boo-hoo, I need a box of tissues."
Yeah.
But wasn't it nice, like rewatching this episode? Like you can see, like everyone's still like a little bit naive with trusting people.
Yes, and that's how you have to be in the apocalypse. Like, who can you trust? That's gonna be the hardest thing. And I try to explain the show to people, and they're like, "Oh, I want to watch zombie shows." And if you look deep into the show, it's just as much about dealing with other people. Linda cried, must have stubbed her toe. Dealing with other people is the base of the show more than anything, I think. It's you have an apocalypse, and how do you deal with people? How do they deal with you? You know, what's right and what's wrong? Because everything changes in the apocalypse.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
there was a season, I don't know what season it was, but some character asked a question about Rick's team or to Rick's team, and they asked him, how do they know they're the good guys? I can't remember what season it was, and it's like, that is so true. Because at one point, you got to remember, they were starting to mess everybody up themselves.
Yeah.
They're like, you know what? We're taking them out. We want that. We're taking it.
Well,
they were doing that themselves.
To him. And I don't know if he says it to Rick, but I know I forget who he's talking. He might have been talking to Carol or Daryl or even Lydia. I don't even know. And he's just talking, and he's just like, you know, you never think you're the bad guy. You know what I mean? And for me, that's what makes the most interesting villain. When like a villain that just wants to take over the world and is bad for bad sake is not interesting to me. A villain who's doing what they do because they believe in it and they believe it's the right thing to do, even though it's so egregious, like what Negan's doing, where he's, killing, with his people. He's got, all the wives and they all live in fear of him and stuff. What made it believable and cool to me was the fact that Negan believed what he was doing was right. And when he was fighting against Alexandria and everybody, he thought he was the good guy. And for me, that is more interesting because that's how you should be. You should think what you know what I mean? Like, it makes for a more layered character, personally.
Mm-hmm.
So
most definitely.
Hunter says, not to mention Morales was in season 1 as well.
I'm gonna have to look up Morales now.
Yeah, I'm lost here as far as Morales goes.
Yeah, I'll look it up. Yeah,
I got like the base cast, but I don't remember Morales. That wasn't his son, right? That's not Morgan's kid's name, right?
No.
Fictional character in the Hard Walking Dead, which is he was created. Okay. That is, I'm on his Wikipedia. Oh, okay. He was in the first season. He was created, I believe. Yeah, I think he was created just for the show. Okay. Not too much on there. So he's in the Guts episode. Okay.
I'm going through the pictures of this, and it's just funny seeing like how much the characters' appearance changed from season 1 to now.
Oh yeah.
So what do you guys think about the near the end when Rick's riding the horse and he ends up following the helicopter right into a horde of zombies? Remember that scene?
Yes.
I was like, you see the horde, it's like, holy Jesus.
I just remembered when this first season was happening, I was just like, God, I wonder what the budget on this show was. Like that, all I kept thinking, I was like, that was my biggest fear about the show, was that it was going to be too expensive to make to keep it going, but luckily it was such a hit that it was doing like 20 million views in a week, which is unheard of in this time when,
right.
If you get 500,000 on a first run episode now, that's pretty good, and they're doing 20 million at the time. That's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Hunter's got another question about Morales. Speaking of Morales, what was your reaction to them bringing him back as a savior just to kill him off in season 8? What do you guys think?
I was glad. Kill the bastard.
Yeah.
Should have died the first time.
Right.
Yeah.
I stayed gone.
Honestly, I don't, Hunter, I don't think I had much of a reaction to it because the Morales character does not stick in my brain very well. Like I looked at the picture, I kind of recognize him, but I don't really remember too much about him. But again, Hunter, me and Roy are old. So we have very bad memories as well. You have to realize this. I don't remember what I had for lunch. So
I watched the episode again and I still had to make notes because I knew I'd forget what I wanted to talk about,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So another thing that I had forgotten about was right at the very end was when after he sees the horde and I think the horse, he gets attacked by the horde and he ends up dropping his weapons. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Keep the freaking weapons with you. And he crawls under the tank.
Mm-hmm.
And then he ends up going through a trap door. But it was like, what are you thinking? Yes, Hunter, Glenn. Yes, Glenn was in the very end of the episode. Because wasn't that Glenn that spoke to him at the end of the episode?
It was like, hey, dumbass, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He said, are you happy? Are you happy or something like that?
I forget what the line was.
Are you comfortable?
It's
and that was kind of your introduction to Glenn.
But Yeah, but I agree with what you were saying, Roy, with the guns and everything. I mean, but then again, we have to realize he just woke up out of a coma and he wakes up into apocalypse. So, and there's these things coming.
Yeah,
You know,
but at this
no,
point,
I mean,
he was awake
I'm not
for a
saying
while, though.
it's still not smart to do or anything, not the right thing. But
You're giving him way too much credit.
What's that?
You're giving him way too much credit.
Who?
Rick.
Why?
I mean, at this point, he's awake for a while. It's not like he just woke up 5 minutes ago earlier.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, dude. I mean, if we really want to be technical, he came out of a coma. You usually, when you're coming out of a coma, you're not fucking walking that well right away. You know what I mean? Like.
How do you know?
It's
how many comas have you been in?
How many have you been in?
4. 14 if you count the other 10.
I'm just saying, a real coma. You would have,
One thing professionally I can tell you is as soon as you can move, you're out of that bed. I don't know how well you'd be moving, but you're out of that bed as soon as you can move because that's one of the most important things. Any kind of surgery, anything that happens to you, you're out of that bed as soon as possible.
Oh yeah, I mean, you would start doing because you would start doing your physical therapy and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I know. I mean, my aunt was in a coma. So
how long do we think he was in the coma?
It's unclear in the.
Yeah, because that would be a big deal too. Because if it was like, let's say 2 months, he'd be atrophied and he shouldn't be doing anything.
Exact. That's my point. That was my point on bringing.
Obviously, he wasn't atrophied, so it was probably a matter of hours. But if that's the case, then what the hell happened? How the apocalypse happened so fast?
Yeah, it's not a matter of hours. And in a matter of hours, his wife's hooking up with Shane. No,
Touche.
It's not a matter of hours. I mean, we got to suspend disbelief a little bit, I guess. There,
Linda says I'm pushing her buttons today. Is it because of that nasal swab? In case you guys don't know, I know you guys know that Derek and I work at the same place, and a lot of us got tested for the coronavirus the other day, and that's what Linda's referring to. Derek, did you get tested?
Yeah.
Yeah. You survived and tell the tale?
Yeah, but I thought it was weird that we don't get the results for 5 days.
5 days? I was told 2.
Somebody told us 5.
Oh, really?
Maybe
they'll have it in a couple of days, but maybe up to 5 to get it to us, maybe. Because life care sucks and they're slow.
They should just tell us anyway, because 5 days after the point, let's say you had it for a couple of days, now you waited 5 days, your quarantine period's almost over by the time you find out.
Hunter says, I have answer in 45 days.
Yeah, 40. So it's either that. I was saying that
4 to 5 days, maybe he meant.
45. It could be 45 days. That's a month and 2 weeks. You'd still see some atrophy, wouldn't you? And you know what I mean? If you're seeing them, that's
you see a lot of atrophy.
Yeah, that's a month
45 days. Yeah,
not walking and stuff. So.
Oh, it's 48 hours. Hillary said 5 days. Derek's believing the wrong people. Where do you go, Derek?
I didn't hear Hillary say it.
I don't even care.
Well, hopefully it's 2 days. I guess we'll all find out Monday.
But to close off this episode real quick, at the end when they show the closing scene, where they show the Atlanta overrun by zombies, I'm like, I want that poster.
Yeah,
I want a poster of that.
That'd be cool. And I just want to get to this one comment that Hunter put. Do you think Shane was scared to see Rick when he found out that he was alive?
Hell yeah.
I'm sure. I'm sure he was.
Any guy would, I think.
I think he was probably nervous and a little bit pissed because he
was definitely surprised.
and surprised. I definitely
mortified.
Definitely think of all those things. Probably some guilt too. Because honestly, I think that he really thought that Rick would die. Rick wasn't going to come out of it, or would get something would happen to him because of the apocalypse happening. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Well, even like regular just common sense, even if that was like his reason, would be like, well, there's no way he's going to survive this, if depending on how far they
Yeah.
into that apocalypse.
Yeah. So definitely think there was probably a lot of emotions going through Shane's head when he sees Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta be kind of crazy.
Yep. So that was the end of my thoughts of the episode. I thought it was a great episode. What did you guys think of the episode as a whole?
Oh, fantastic.
Probably like one of the best pilots.
Yes. I would say probably, yeah, for a pilot episode, I would definitely probably put it top 3, 4 of all time. Maybe even better. Loved set up the series really well. I mean, it was really, really good. I was nervous because being a fan of The Walking Dead, you know how it goes when your favorite book or favorite whatever gets made into a movie, you get, you don't want them to ruin it, and they didn't. They did really well. So
how did Roy manage to get through the episode 1 knowing he'd have to watch stupid Carl again?
Carl. Hunter says, if Shane would have just told Rick the truth, what do you think would have happened?
That's a good question. As far as Kyle goes, he was a little kid then, so I didn't mind him.
As far as
he gets annoying later.
Yeah, he does. As far as that, I mean, I don't know. There definitely probably would have been like a spat right away if he had just
conflict.
Yeah. Hey, I'm boning you away.
Definitely wouldn't have escalated like that.
That I would guess that would have divided the camp. That would have been worse off for everybody involved, because if you remember, because they stuck together, they were able to fend off walkers in future episodes because they were together. Mm-hmm. They lost people even in those circumstances. So if they had split apart, you'd have all kinds of a mess.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. Yeah.
That's how I roll, Tom. That's how I roll. So do we want to do a little talk about the world beyond?
Sure.
So I was looking stuff up, and Hunter was nice enough to find some stuff in articles for us. I found out some information that I was surprised about. I didn't know it was only going to be a 2-season arc of 10 episodes, which I'm like, well, then maybe I'll have to watch it now, because I thought it was going to be a regular series, and I'm like, I'm not watching this.
I only told you that when I first heard about the show, like a couple times, but
I don't know, Tom, but I'm an old man. I can't remember yesterday. Never mind tomorrow.
Yeah, he said it was only going to be 1 or 2 seasons. It wasn't going to be anything super big.
Yeah. Nobody asked you, Derek.
It was always only going to be 2. That was it.
Now Derek wants to chime in at the very end.
I have to pay attention when you don't.
That's true. Touche, Derek. Touche. And I think it's cool that it's kind of set in Nebraska. I want one set like in like a blizzard, like a snow-capped area. It's all snow. That'd be kind of cool. The Walking Dead episodes in the snow, those were some of my favorite, actually.
Yeah.
I love the stuff in the snow and like frozen zombies, smacking them and they would keep breaking, shattering. That was pretty cool.
It was cool. Very cool.
And I know a lot of people are looking forward to the show because it's a coming of age, and the first kids to grow up in the apocalypse. And
I'm not expecting too much from it, but then again, so I was super excited for Fear the Walking Dead, and then that first season was not good, and even the second season, basically when the family was finally almost all killed off, it started getting really good again.
That's what I heard, yeah, but I'd already given up at that point myself. I hate you.
So that said, with Fear the Walking Dead having it let me down, especially the first season let me down, because I was so excited, and then it happened. I was like, ugh. So I don't have a lot of expectations going into this one, but I do like that it's only a 2. I do think it's good that it's only a 2-season run like that. You
gotta be careful, because too much of a good thing,
Yeah, exactly.
Linda.
I like seeing people in pain.
Oh, Linda. I said that to her. I don't know. I can't remember what context I said that to her in, But I remember saying it to her. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. I can't remember the context. But yeah, I did say that actually. I like seeing people suffer. I think everyone should suffer.
So Hunter says trivia fact: Shane was originally supposed to be killed. I knew this one. I had read this one. Hunter at some point. Yeah, he was, but then they pushed it off to season 2. But good. Yeah, I do like that too. That that the series takes its own. You know what I mean? It's not verbatim the comic book. So I do.
Oh, that's right, Linda. You're right. That's right. Touche, Linda.
You know what? It was yesterday.
Because they were jamming up people's noses, and some people were like, "Oh." And I was like, "Good, you deserve it. I don't like you."
Everyone was just sitting in the chair. I don't know how they did it for the residents, but they just had to sit in the chair and just pretty much put your head back.
Residents, they had to be in bed. One of them laying down. But speaking of season 2, when they finally killed him off, how did you feel about how they killed him? I didn't like it. I wasn't too thrilled by the way they did it. I would have did it more brutally.
Would you like to see it actually come down to an actual fist fight instead of?
Nope. If I was Rick, I would have shot him in the kneecaps, called the zombies over, and walked away. Then when the zombies were done with them, I'd walk over and shoot him in the head. I'd make him get eaten alive, make him suffer, and then I'd shoot him in the head.
Roy, you're going to mention.
Oh, yes.
That was. I thought that was my favorite of the 3 articles, actually.
Yes, Hunter found us an article on the Walking Dead and Heath. I think Hunter had brought him up last week. Was it last week? Or the week before?
It won either last week or the week before, and So essentially, it is that you see Heath's van in one of the trailers for The World Beyond, I believe. Walking Dead, real that introducing the Walking.
He was on Legacy, 24 Legacy. I didn't know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was saying like after he may have been traded from the junkyard people.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, now I remember. Yep. So he's fan spotted. Scavengers base led to fan theories that Jadis, she's one of the, if you forget, she was the trash lady, traded him to the people from the helicopter. So, just.
It says that Heath is definitely going to return in some form.
Cool.
Zombie Heath.
Because the 3rd Walking Dead series will dive deeper into the CRM organization, which I'm excited for everybody and Hunter. That we're gonna find out more about this CRM, and that's gonna be kind of cool. Like that's what I think might be the most cool about this next spinoff is they can kind of like tie loose sort of storylines and stuff that it's taught because there's a lot going on in The Walking Dead, and then it's like you just watch an episode and it's like it just deals with certain characters and you won't even see some characters for an episode or 2. So this can kind of like with this they can either tie in some things that you're like, oh yeah, what happened to them, or people you forgot about, or the CRM, which really has me interested.
Well, what this is saying about Heath is that the new show can explain how Heath was taken, what he's been doing the many years that he's been away, and he could even join the main cast of The Worlds Beyond. They could be hiding, because I know you have the cast list on all the things, but they could be hiding his name, maybe, making a surprise.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. They
I like him as a character. I really like that character.
Yeah, he's great. It's
they need more black people on that show.
They do. They do need the show is awfully white. It's the apocalypse is awfully white. But
It's like the zombies ate all the black people.
yeah,
we taste delicious. Chocolatey delicious.
oh man. But yeah, no, that's I mean, it's I think this show could, like I said, I'm not expecting a lot, but the show could be really good if they do it right. Like I said, if they sort of, we find out stuff about Heath and other things, you know what I mean? This could be really cool.
My big thing about the show, I would have loved them to have brought in the last year or two, like when they knew they were doing a third show. If I was them, I would have brought in some people on the main show, and like even as, because it's about them growing up, obviously, but have them as little kids, like not even maybe show them very much, but just enough. Like show like a 5-year-old or 6-year-old kid in the garden doing that, or show them in the arena when they're shooting the bow and arrows. Show them like training or something, so that when you see the new show, you're like, oh, that's the kid from the episode. So it kind of ties them together.
Yeah,
that's what I would have liked. Now that being said, that's just being nitpicky, because they would have been so little, you wouldn't be like, you know what I mean? They really couldn't do much on the main show because they'd be tiny then. But
yeah, well, that's what's interesting. These kids that they've never known a world without walkers. You know what I mean? But on top of that, they've never really been in super danger from walkers, so it's like, it's this really sort of interesting dichotomy that they have going on there. So yeah, it has the potential to be really cool. So I hope it isn't corny or cheesy or something. So
could probably be a little of both.
So Hunter says, I'm looking forward to talking about the 2 articles, and we definitely will be talking more and more in upcoming episodes too, as the finale approaches. I mean, what we know, right, is
the delays going on.
The delay, it's done being filmed, right? It's all about editing at this point, right?
Yeah.
It's just,
and there's a lot of like FX that they had to do. The last episode, I guess, has a lot of special effects.
Yeah.
And they say like they really didn't get a chance to do a lot of stuff that they need to do.
Yeah.
I think they said they need, I thought the article said, because one of the articles, Hunter, I had already read in the previous days. I thought it said they need another couple of weeks at least to do the special effects. And then they said it has to go to, I don't know if it's AMC or like the parent network for approval before they can even have a date to air it. So they have to go through it. So even when the special effects are done and the show is actually done and set, then they have to go through another couple of stages before they can release the episode. It's like, holy Jesus, it's just an episode, people. Let's just get it out there,
Well, and they say be prepared for, there's going to be some big and lots of deaths in it. So,
and I like that. Kill everybody.
You kind of know too, because that's their go-to, and it's kind of the go-to move, is they got to kill people off to keep it interesting. You know what I mean? That's sort of like the big hook for every season. Who's going to die?
And there's talk of 3 more shows for The Walking Dead. Talk about Daryl getting his own show, Maggie getting her own show, and they mentioned somebody else. So there might be 3 more Walking Dead shows coming out.
That's overkill.
Yep.
That's overkill.
I don't think it'll happen.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like Game of Thrones, they're, or during the last season, there was 5 spin-offs, and then, now it's down to 1 to 2, you know what I mean? As time goes on, they either get scrapped or whatever. So
right.
They should just redo the last season instead.
Well, actually, I've read, I'm waiting for the last 2 Game of Thrones books to come out, but I've read the first 5, all that are out, plus all the side stories that they have, because he's built such a big universe with, he created like, thousands and thousands of years of history for that world and stuff. And there's all sorts of books and companion books and stuff that I've all read. So there is a lot of stuff that they can do. I mean, I know people aren't happy with that, and they, I don't know why people thought the petition to get them to refilm would work, because why, a petition is not going to get them to refilm a whole season, but
well, not like the
People are
whole season, but
stupid.
I'm just nitpicking like little things.
yeah, and it definitely was disappointing. But like I said, with the universe that George R.R. Martin has created, there's a lot of good stories in there that can be done. So they could do a lot. All right, here's one. Name a person who you never want to see on The Walking Dead. I never want to see Jim Carrey, Tobey Maguire. Oh, those are all. I agree with all three of those for sure. I wouldn't want to see Gilbert Godfrey.
Carrot Top.
Carrot Top. I would not want Carrot Top. Ray
He's a
Romano.
comedian for all you young
Well,
people.
actually, Ray Romano, if he got killed, I wouldn't mind.
Jerry Seinfeld. I wouldn't want him on there.
Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld again. If he was getting killed, I'd be okay with that. Let's see, who else?
Who would you want to see on the show?
Ooh, that's a good one too. Yeah,
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray would be great.
Bill Murray, freaking awesome. He had some comedic,
Yeah, Bill
to
Murray.
his death.
Who else would
But if you
be?
do a little overlap and throw like the Zombie Land gang in there,
Oh yeah, Woody Harrelson and Jesse Eisenberg and Emma Stone, and
just have the group meet him and see how it goes.
that'd be funny. God, who would I want to say? Says I would never want to see Jason Alexander on there. Trying to think of who I would want to see on there.
I want Darth Vader.
Darth Vader.
He'd wipe everybody out. You would never have to worry about a zombie ever again. And his lightsaber, Luke Skywalker, it messed all the zombies up. The zombie apocalypse would be over.
How about for someone that could probably be on there and do a good job? Would probably be like Stephen Amell.
Yeah, or I wouldn't mind like Simon Pegg on there.
Stephen Amell and his cousin. That'd be awesome. Who are both in a movie together, by the way, on Netflix.
I don't know Stephen Amell's cousin.
Robbie.
What?
Yeah,
It's Robbie Amell. He was on.
You poor child.
he was
He was
on.
on. He was on. What was
did
he
a
on?
couple
The
episodes of
Flash. Yes.
I
He
don't.
was also in that show, The Tomorrow People.
I actually met him and his then his girlfriend. I don't know if they still together or not. She I didn't know who she was, and she's an actress. She was one of the stars of one of the vampire shows, and we're all hanging out. It was I was with the cast of like Arrow, The Flash. I was kind of with all of them. It was when I worked at Boston Comic Con, and I was kind of taking care of them. And I was bringing him over some drinks, and this girl comes over. And she puts her hand on my shoulder. She says, "Excuse me." And I'm like, you can't be over here, not knowing who she was.
Yeah.
He's, oh no, that's cool. It's my girlfriend. I'm like, oh Jesus, like, piss off the actor already. And he started laughing, and but he was really cool to work with. Really nice guy.
So Hunter says he wouldn't. I could see Josh Brolin on there.
He'd be awesome.
Yeah, Josh Brolin. That I thought that's why I put him up there, because I was like, that's a really good one. I wouldn't mind like oh god, even a Harvey Keitel. God, it's tough. Oh yeah, that's another one. Linda, Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson. That'd be a
Definitely.
classic.
If they were young, yeah, like that, because Jack Nicholson would be good if he was younger. That's why I would think like Harvey Keitel. Like I'm thinking of him when he was younger, because some of these guys are getting old.
Even more reason to put him on there. Why not?
Yeah,
Zombies kill old people.
yes, they do. I like them.
It's just they prefer black people over white people. That's all.
Apparently, yes, they.
Because we're chocolatey delicious. Come on, Derek. You know it's true.
Oh boy.
Derek's so quiet.
It's
Nothing to say.
just one of those days, I guess, for me.
It's always one of those days for you.
Man.
Man.
He has a couple.
Oh, I hate Russell Brand. I cannot stand that man.
See, I actually don't mind Russell Brand. I'm not a big Sacha Baron. Occasionally, I find him funny.
Oh
John
my
Oliver,
god,
I love John Oliver. I think he's great.
John Oliver I could do.
I don't think
well, I don't think he would be good on the show. That's why I agree with him. And James Corden, that dude would be eaten right.
I don't really
Yeah, I would like
think
James Corden on there because I would just throw him there. They'd all just consume on him and eat on his bigger torso, whatever, and I could get away. So,
there you go, Linda. Morgan Freeman. Get some black people in there.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman would be good.
If he's chocolatey delicious.
Chris Rock. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah. No. I think. Well, he is making Saw.
That's why I threw it out there. That's the only reason.
That's another whole discussion, by the way.
Yes.
When I first heard, not to really get into this real, but just real quickly, when I first heard that Chris Rock was doing the Saw, I swore it had to be a different Chris Rock.
Me too. I looked it up because I was like, usually in Hollywood, only one person can have what I mean, like
usually
the name. Like Michael J. Fox had to put the J in there because there was already a Michael Fox.
Right.
So yeah, so I did the same thing. I was like, this can't be the same Chris Rock. This is going to be a different. And then it's like, nope, this is Chris. I was like, what in the hell? So
Derek, Lynn's talking to you.
Come
on, Derek, pay attention.
It's the swab.
It's a swab.
It wasn't up there though. He didn't.
It's on the side like you guys do.
So then these are two
Gary
more.
Oldman.
I wouldn't mind Oldman or Idris Elba.
Yes. Yeah, that'd be good one too.
Idris Elba would be great.
He's a great actor.
Yeah, and Gary Oldman is, in my opinion, he's a top 5 actor of all time. Gary Oldman.
I consider him a classical actor. You can't touch him. He's one of the greats.
Yeah, I mean, think about his roles from Sid and Nancy to Commissioner Gordon to what I mean. He can do and he's so good. I actually
wide range.
Real quick story on this. So I have a degree in theater. You guys know I used to act and stuff. One of my teachers was British. He played the dean in of the school in Outside Providence, in the movie Outside Providence. He was in a couple other movies, like a lot of Shakespearean movies and stuff like that. Well, when he lived in England, he was working for, I don't think it was the Globe, but it was one of the bigger theaters in England, and they were doing The Crucible, and he was in it. And Gary Oldman was in it at 17 years old. He was in the play with him. Gary Oldman was 17. He was playing the part of Giles Corey. Giles Corey in the Crucible is 80 years old. And he would get there. He did all his own makeup at 17. He would get there for 4 to 5 hours before the call time. And your call is, just so you know, your call is usually an hour and a half to 2 hours before the show starts. You get there, you get into costume, makeup, you do your warm-ups and everything like that. He would get there. So 4 to 5 hours prior to that. So he'd be there for 7 hours to do his makeup. And my teacher still to this day, he said, most believable actor in the play, most professional guy. He was like, we all knew right away this kid was going to be something huge at 17. So Gary Oldman's the best.
That's pretty cool.
And then Hunter, never put John Cleese or Eric Idle. No, they wouldn't fit in it. I do love them though. They're two of my heroes is John Cleese and Eric Idle. They would be great. And they're great. But I agree with you. Sorry, getting tired now.
Tired.
Yeah, it's tough getting old, man.
Getting old.
Maybe put Hugh Laurie on there.
Hugh Laurie.
House.
He's got to solve this epidemic we have first.
Yeah. Where's House getting rid of COVID for us?
Right. Yeah, I can't believe that now they're saying blood clots are part of this whole COVID thing.
What are they saying?
blood clots. The COVID-19 is causing blood clots.
Oh, because it's funny because I didn't hear that they were saying it caused it, but I've heard 2 people who have had COVID talking about actually, and one actor, a Broadway actor, lost his leg.
My buddy's daughter told me today that a doctor was doing a procedure on a patient on a blood clot, and he could see more blood clots forming around the other blood clot as they were doing the procedure.
Real.
To help with the blood clots, yeah.
Oh boy.
And they're saying they think it's part of this whole thing now. Because several people now have had all of a sudden blood clot issues that never had blood clot issues before. But since they've had COVID-19, now they're showing a lot of blood clots.
Yeah.
And I thought one person died that was loaded with blood clots. That might not be true, but I thought I heard that.
Wow. Well, like I said, I read about that Broadway actor and his wife, posted that he was doing well after the surgery. He actually, I don't know if he had a history of clotting before that, but I just know, that like he had COVID, he was fine. Then he's all of a sudden developed complications. Then he went to the hospital, and then his legs were so clotted up that they had to amputate like right away, like the next day or something.
He was one of the people that the story was about. I didn't know they'd amputated. I just know they were saying the blood clots were forming.
Yeah, no, they amputated. He's fine. He's doing well. It's kind of sad that Broadway actor, and he sings and dances. That's his livelihood right there, is singing and dancing. If you work on Broadway, so
you can dance in a wheelchair.
Come on, man.
You can. Hey, you know what? People do it. Yes, you can. People do it in nursing homes all the time.
I know.
You're only limited to what you think it is.
The guy just lost his leg. Come on.
He didn't lose his life, though. I mean, let's be positive.
I know.
He could have been a lot worse.
I know, but he's not going to be doing. He's not going to be doing a chorus line on Broadway in a wheelchair, unfortunately.
Well, that's shame on them for not letting him do it then.
Yeah, come on,
bastards.
Come on. All right. Yeah.
All right, guys. I think that's gonna be the show today.
See, I think Christian Bale would be kind of cool on there. Just my final.
No. Have him dressed as Batman. Do the Batarang, the Batmobile running people over. That'd be kind of funny, actually.
That would.
Someone on YouTube should do a skit with The Walking Dead, having Christian Bale as Batman driving the Batmobile. I'm glad the new Batman movie's been postponed. I'm glad about that. Maybe they'll smarten up and get a different Batman.
Christian Bale's still the best one.
Yes, he is the best. Although I do like Michael Keaton.
I'm gonna say Michael Keaton's my best, I think, but Christian Bale, it's like a 1-1A with me. I'll take either one of them.
Yeah, they're both great.
At the time, I never thought I would say Michael Keaton was one of my best favorite Batman.
Linda said
that cast, I was like, I would never thought 20 years later I'd say that he's one of my favorite Batman, Michael Keaton.
Linda says, why was my comment not on? Which one? We put on Morgan Freeman. We put on the Swab. I'm trying to. Did we miss one of her comments? We put those both on. And then and the ones before that was about the National Guard, and it was yesterday. It was yesterday, Roy. All right. All right, if we missed one, Linda, I don't know which one we missed.
What are we missing, Linda?
Was it an important comment?
Apparently not, because she's not typing it.
It's all good.
Maybe she's mad at us when she left.
Well,
she's probably mad at you, Derek.
Mad at both you guys.
No one's mad at me. I'm adorable.
Yeah. How about?
I did find something interesting the other day.
Don't put Ricky Gervais on there. Yes. Don't put.
I don't like him either.
What's that?
I don't like him either.
I like Ricky Gervais just because he will tell the Hollywood elites how it is at the Oscar. Whenever he's gets to
that
do
was good
dig and stuff, he just digs deep, and I love it. He's like, nobody cares about what you think about politics. Shut the fuck, just he's
Yeah,
so
that's
mad.
fine. But his shows are like I don't find his movies funny. I don't find his shows funny.
Oh, see, the original Office to me was way funnier than the American version of The Office. Then he
Never
had
saw either one.
oh God, it's so good. The English, it's only 2 seasons. The English Office, because that's how they do it over in England usually. It's great. And then he had another show where he worked in a nursing home, and I thought that was great. I liked his shows. I can't think of any of his movies. My comments with Hunter are at the same.
Yeah, but what comment was it?
Well, but we should be wrapping up. So,
all right, kids. Linda, see you coming for next week. Because
yeah.
Derek has to go. So it's all Derek's fault.
I want to.
For at least 15 minutes.
I wanna wish Linda a happy birthday and Hunter a happy birthday.
Al Pacino would be cool.
Oh,
And like Tom said, Linda, happy birthday to Linda and happy birthday to Hunter.
yeah.
Both birthday kids next week.
Next
Happy
week.
early birthday, guys.
And tune in next week. I totally forgot to think about what the next episode was going to be about, but I'll have something by tomorrow, and it will be on social media.
It'll be about something.
Yes, it will be about. We will do a show about something. What that something?
Maybe about Derek's beard growing in. What he's doing with that damn thing.
Yeah. So
Maybe we'll discuss. Maybe we'll do an episode about Derek. All about Derek. Why is Derek like Derek?
but I'm
Keep it
sure
on
next
with that
week for
answer.
I'm sure next week we will discuss a little more Walking Dead, because we've been on a Walking Dead kick for a while. So there'll be more Walking Dead for you, Hunter, and of course, Linda. Please enjoy your birthday.
Yeah, again, happy birthday, guys, and thank you guys for watching our show.
Hunter thinks
Subscribe to
Christ is great.
Thank you, Hunter. I knew I liked Hunter for a reason. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Comment on this video. You guys want to keep chatting? We'll keep answering on the chat. So for Tom, Derek, and myself, have a geeky great day.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
See you next week.
Hunter, we'll talk about Derek next week. Bye-bye.
The can of worms that may not want to be opened.
Oh, we want to open that can of worms.